Welcome, everybody, to the Mission Employable podcast. My name is Ben Oldak, joined, as always, by my co-host, Kathy Leggett. Kathy, how's it going?
Great. Hello, everybody.
Well, today's episode is really fun. It's going to be all about the importance of second chances and people looking for a pathway for in-demand jobs. We're learning about a new nonprofit here in Des Moines that works with Iowans looking to overcome barriers to find a life-changing career path. With us is Joseph Johnson, founder and CEO of Change Course. Welcome to the show, Joseph.
Great. Thanks for letting me be here with you this afternoon.
Yeah. Now, Change Course is one of the newer nonprofits on the scene. Can you give us a little bit of background of what you guys are doing and a little bit about you?
Yeah, that'd be great. This all started from a passion that I had gained 27 years ago when I came out of prison. I made some mistakes in my life, and I had a community of people around me that loved me and gave me an opportunity because of a recommendation from that community to get a job. And then over the next 25 years, I experienced a successful career in small business. And I saw many of the men that I had met in prison go back to prison. And I thought, well, why is it that you go back? And many of them said there was no opportunity. Nobody would give me a job. I tried and they wouldn't hire me. So I had to survive. So I'd end up selling drugs again or stealing in order to just survive. And so I thought, man, there's got to be a way to create a training center for these men coming out of prison to give them an opportunity to get into a meaningful career and succeed.
Well, we're excited about that, Joseph. This is something that we're very passionate about here, the population that you're talking about. So one question, we have a lot of facets to talk about, but one thing I want to ask you is, what would you share with employers about opening up their doors and maybe connecting with your nonprofit, to make these opportunities available?
Well, all I can say is I know that I worked for two organizations after I got out of prison, and both of those then I had a successful career with, and it was a very good experience for the employers. The employers benefited, I benefited, those we hired benefited. So I know that there are some sharp people that just made some mistakes. They want a second chance. Some of them don't, and we want to work with those who are ready to change, and that's why we call it Change Course. We want you to be ready to change the course of your life. Lead that effort. We're going to support you. And then employers are going to find that they're going to be some of their best employees because they're grateful. They're grateful for this opportunity that nobody would give them. And they say, wow, I'm going to become the best employee you could possibly have because I'm thankful for this opportunity you're giving me.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about the format of Change Course and how it's all structured and set up.
Change Course is a model out of a very successful program in Denver called Cross Purpose. They've been in existence for 10 years. They graduate over 200 people a year and help them with new jobs. And my wife and I went to visit them in October of 2021. And we saw something that we thought, this is the model. This is it. This is what we were thinking we could do someday in Des Moines. And so they were kind enough to say, look, you start your own nonprofit and we'll give you everything we've learned. We'll get you so much further along than what we were in those beginning stages because we'll show you the curriculum, we'll show you how it's structured. So it's a 6-month program. The first 6 weeks is personal development. That's when we really help them see who they really are. What do they want to do? What do they dream of? Nobody's really asked them, what would you love to do if you could just do anything in the world? What would you love as a career? And then, is it possible to get there? What about me are the things that I need to develop and prepare for in order to get an opportunity in that particular area? So after that first 6 weeks, then we go into the career path, and that's where we have worked really hard to get them to understand what path they want to pursue. Teach them how to do resumes and do interviews, mock interviews, look people in the face, shake hands, how to speak in front of people. We practice that often. And then they go into career paths that can either be through colleges online. Penn College we use for some of it. DMAC is a very good partner of ours that has those short-term workplace program certifications. We're utilizing a lot of those this year. And so after they get that through that certification, that's when we go to our business partners, say, These people are prepared. Well, you give them that opportunity for an interview, and they get hired. And once they get hired, they've completed that, and then we have a big graduation at the end of that 6 months. This cohort's graduation is May 6th.
And who are some of the people that are teaching these classes, and what kind of experience do they bring before they were working with you?
Well, my wife and I are primarily the training individuals in the company. Bradford, our son, is our marketing director, and he gets out there and recruits the people. He introduces us to some of our business partners, and he works closely with them. But we've got to spread the word because people who need the program don't know about us. Businesses that can benefit from the program don't know about us, and so that's his job. And then we have a career coach, and she is going to Drake University right now in her studies, and she works with them side by side, make sure they get their work done, make sure that they follow through. She does the coaching with them. So my wife and I do primarily all that, and most of that is in the training that I've done over the years in small business. We had 350 employees in the last place that I was employed, and I was a head of operations, so I made sure that everybody was trained up, and I trained the executive staff and the management staff. She has done coaching all of her life. She has been a gymnastics coach for Chow's Gymnastics, which many of them know about here. And then our other son, Spencer, started a gym in Grimes called Emerge, and she was coaching there before she left there to be a part of this nonprofit that we started in February of last year.
So it's you have some great experience, that relevant kind of what we say real world experience that you're bringing into this program for people, which I think is wonderful. You said we need to spread the word, so I have a couple of questions. Number one is, if employers want to engage with you and are interested in how can we partner to see if you have some potential employees for us, what do you suggest they do? So I'll let you answer that first.
Yeah, they could reach out to us over our website, which is change-course.org.
Great.
And that is probably the best way just to engage. They can say, I would like more information. Somebody gets that right away. Bradford watches over that a lot. And so then it gets to me, and then I can make that call.
Great. And then same thing, getting the word out about this opportunity to individuals who might be good fit for you. Do they do the same thing? Go to the website? What do you suggest?
Yeah, the website's really set up. It's very intuitive. It's easy to get through. Interest form is filled out. Once they get an interest form filled out, then Danny, our career coach, calls them, does the interview, and if they feel like it's a good fit for them, then they go through the application process. We do some math and reading assessments to find out where they are. We do a drug test, which is important, that they are committed to be not involved with drugs during that time that they're in the classes, and that we get them up to a reading level and a math level that's important for them to get accepted into DMAC and some of these other colleges that require at least a seventh grade level of reading and math.
And you talk about the partnerships with DMAC. These courses and certificates that they're getting are at no cost to them, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, there's nothing as a cost to them. Matter of fact, we pay out $100 every 2 weeks in a transportation stipend if they fulfill their requirements. So they kind of earn that by, if you come to our family gathering nights, which is every Monday night, if they get their work done, if they do their coaching session, they can earn that, and then they can get that stipend. So not only does it not cost we call them leaders. Our participants are called leaders because they're leading the process. We're just supporting them. I want them to know you're leading your future here, and we're going to teach you the skills you need to lead your future. And they can earn that, and there's no cost to them. DMAC helps us with some of the grants that are out there for workplace preparation. But if there is a cost to tuition, Change Course pays that for the leaders.
Wow. That's fantastic. I do want to say, your website, I do want to encourage people to look at it because it has a lot of great information, and the frequently asked questions was really good. So I do think people can gain a good, look at what you're doing when they go to your website. So I just want to encourage folks listening to do that.
Yeah, we've worked really hard at that because that's how people communicate these days, right? Mm-hmm. It's different for me. I make a phone call or go meet somebody and
Sure.
shake a hand. everybody else is on Facebook or on TikTok or on Messenger. So that's why we need Bradford to keep those open lines of communication. But we decided to spend some money on that website because it's an important vehicle for everybody who wants to come to us. It's a great traffic, kind of our place where all the traffic goes and then gets sent to the right place.
Yeah. Now, this first cohort. Is this the first class that's gone through?
It is November 1st.
Yeah. How have you seen them change over the last couple of months?
Yeah. See, that's why we get up every morning. That's why my wife and I can't wait to go to work. It's the people. I mean, they're just so grateful that they come from a place. When they first come, they're very reserved. They don't know what this is. Is this just another program? I've been through programs before. I'm in the same place I was. And how is this different? The first thing that we try to do is we create a loving community. We want them to know that we don't want anything from you. We want to be your support. We want to care about you. We're your friends, right? We're going to be a resource for you. Even if we can't provide that, we're going to find that resource for you, because there's a lot of great nonprofits in Des Moines. There's a lot of great government agencies that are offering things that are wonderful, but they don't know how to do it, or they try, they run into a few obstacles, and they just quit. So we're going to be that new family. So one of the things that we do is we do family gatherings every Monday night. Family gatherings, we feed everybody. We have volunteers called allies that have volunteered in our program, and we assign those to our leaders. So they have small groups that are developed with these allies that are just there to meet with their leaders and see how they can help. First thing we do is we feed everybody. You got to feed everybody because everybody loves to come for food. Then we shout out victories, shout outs. Hey, so-and-so helped me this week. I want to shout out to this leader who did this for me when I wasn't sure. We had one last week that said, I didn't have a place to live for a while because I was in transition, and she opened up her house to say, you can live with me until you find one. Things like that they're doing for each other. We're creating these new relationships. Then we play a game to meet each other. They think the games are corny, but if we don't do them, they say, hey, what about a game, right? So we do get to know each other games. Then after those, then we break into the small groups for the last hour where they can just have more intimate conversation. Hey, how can we help you? As volunteers in the program, they say, how can we help you? You know, and we usually have questions related to a 15-minute talk that we have somebody come in that has maybe overcome addiction. And overcome coming out of prison and getting into a good job, or started a business and been very successful when they have a terrible background, right? Showing people that, look, these are people who failed too, and they decided that's not going to be what was representative of my future. That's my past. And they give them hope. And then we usually have questions in the small group related to that little talk that they can talk further about.
A couple of questions I have. What about what career paths are you focused on right now? Why don't you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, and one other thing I want to make clear, this isn't just for people coming out of prison. There are people who are coming out of addiction treatment. There are people that are stuck in poverty that have not really got a background of criminal background at all, but they're stuck making $10 or $12 an hour, plus they're on the welfare benefits, and if they can't make enough to get over that cliff, because that drops back to where if they make a couple dollars more, they actually back up. So we've got to get them into jobs that make $18, $20 an hour plus benefits with a future. And that's what these business relationships do for us. So I want to make sure that everybody knows it's not just coming out of incarceration.
I'm glad you said that, and I just want to capitalize on something you said there, because you talk about that kind of cliff when people are in that situation, and that is frightening for people.
Yes.
And it holds them back because
right.
it's so scary. I've seen it, and so I think that's something I really want to emphasize about your program is there's support there to help people make that leap. And it sounds like do it successfully, because otherwise it kind of freezes them.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing about those who've never experienced that kind of poverty is they look at people that are in the welfare program and they say you're lazy. They don't want to work. That's not true at all. They just don't know what to do, so they feel like, hey, I might as well just stay here. This is what I deserve. And once they get started, it takes a number of years to get out of that if they can really sustain that effort and they can keep that job. So what we do is we help them. We're going to help you as long as we need to. Even when you graduate, we're going to still keep in touch with you over the next year to make sure you're doing well. Every month we'll give you a call. Anything else we can do for you. We check with the employer, how they doing. Any additional type of education that would be helpful to them, we want to provide that for our alumni once they graduate. For post-graduation to say, hey, this is going to help you even step further into your career that you're doing so well at. So I think that's the key to this. The key to this is having a community of people. These people have been abandoned. They don't want to be abandoned again. And so we have to be there for them no matter what. And we have made a commitment to do that, and we're going to follow through with it.
Yeah. You mentioned that you want to get them in careers that are $18 to $20 an hour. Yeah. Can you give an example of maybe something that somebody is looking to do right now? I know they haven't graduated yet, but a career or two that the people are on the path towards.
Yeah, you asked about career tracks, and I kind of got off the path there.
It's all right.
I get excited about this, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I love these people so much, and all of us do. We see such a future for them. But a lot of it is IT. We've got a couple of in IT, information desk type of IT entry positions. We've got one that went right into the Broadlands program for a CNA. Broadlands has a tremendous program, too, if you qualify. So Broadlands is a partner. They came and spoke, and one of ours qualified right away into the program. We also have several that are looking into CDL. We have some construction trades. Welding is something that's available, and some of those entry-level construction jobs. We also have one that wanted to pursue the safety side of things. So they're doing OSHA tests. They're doing some OSHA certifications so they can prepare to be that safety into the safety department of different companies. Every company wants to have a safe company to reduce workers' comp claims, right? I lived that life for 25 years. And so having somebody that specializes in watching over the safety of a company is important, and we have a person that is pursuing that. We have two that are looking for admin work, and so they're taking the admin path on that, and even one that is looking into more of a deeper technology side of it, who wants to do more than just a help desk.
Yeah, and as you rattled off a couple of those different career paths, I noticed that a lot of them were on our in-demand career list that we have on IowaWorkforceDevelopment.gov.
Yep, you're hitting many of those, and for some of those are the kind of the gatekeeper, as you said. Yeah. They get in, and then there's opportunity for further support in education and training to go even further. So those are great paths for folks.
Yeah, that's the advantage of us staying close to partners like DMAC, because they create their certifications based on the current need out there, as well as IowaWorks. IowaWorks, we've gotten really close with IowaWorks, and I think
that's us.
That's you guys.
It is.
So you guys out at your Army post, I've spent several days there.
Sarah told me that she had worked with you guys.
Sarah's
Sarah Bass,
amazing.
She's awesome, isn't she?
I'm telling you, she just wrapped her arms around us. She brought me in to meet with 6 of the leaders initially to say, okay, tell us why you're doing this and what you're doing. And the first thing they said was, how can we help you? How can we help you? I thought, man, this is delightful, because I have no idea what I'm doing in the nonprofit world, right? I was living in the for-profit world forever. And then these resources that have been provided to us have been such a comfort and given us such a confidence that we're doing something that can help people succeed.
That's awesome. I think it looked like you're open now, or you're taking applications or recruiting for your July 2023 group of folks. So I want to encourage people to reach out via the website or connect through IowaWorks. They can get connected with you to see if they're a fit for your next group.
Well, let me tell you what's exciting about Des Moines. We had the CEO from Cross Purpose, the Denver model, come to us, and he was here in Des Moines. And he said, I'm telling you, in Denver, and they planted their program right in the gang district in Denver. And they've had such success there. And they said, now listen, the impact you can have in Des Moines, the type of city that it is going to be so much more noticeable than the impact in Denver. you guys have a perfect place here to really make a difference with the other agencies that are willing to help you. You really can have an impact. But he said, but don't worry about it if you only start with a few, because he said, if you have 10 sign up at first and you graduate 5 because some are going to just drop off, they're not going to want to go the distance, they're not going to want to follow the rules. Well, we had 18 sign up the first time. And we have 13 that are into that we believe are going to graduate. There's been 5. A couple of them have said we're going to have to leave the program because of personal problems, but we want to come back in July. And so there's about 3 of them that just decided, this isn't for me. I'll do my own thing, which is fine also, because they're free to come and go as they choose. But our goal for this next one is 40 for July. And we have a training classroom where we are housed at 25th and University in the Hope Elam Church. They're letting us use their second floor chapel as our training room, Monday through Thursday, 9:30 to 1:30. And it's a perfect place to hold up to, I think we can hold up to 100 people there. But 40 is probably our max in that area for training, for teaching. And then we have a cafeteria area down on the first floor that we can use for our family gatherings every Monday night. And we have a little office up there that they have let us rent. They've helped us out in so many different ways. And so we're in a perfect location to really make a difference. So we're excited in July to see if we can't even get up to 40 people to really help. And we're having every day, we have requests come in for more information.
Great.
Most of them, the most powerful ones, come from people who are referred, because some will come in through Facebook and things like that, but many of those fall off. But people who are referred directly by a friend or a relative, those are the people who stay and want to work through the program.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like we're running up on our time, Joseph. I want to thank you for coming into the podcast. We're really excited to keep an eye on you guys and see how you continue to grow over the course of 2023 and hopefully beyond.
Yes, helping people change course. I love that. I think you're spot on, and we are very excited. Thanks for what you're doing.
Well, thank you, and thanks to Iowa Workforce for what you guys do. I think it sometimes goes unnoticed, but believe me, I noticed that you are making a difference.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.